meat is prepared. We've placed it in the smoker and we're on our way. We've got 2 thermometers in there. One is just hanging, is going to kind of measure the internal temperature of the smoker, and the other is in our pork belly, and that's going to measure the internal temperature of that, which we want to be 150 degrees, correct? Mm-hmm. All right, and we're trying to keep the inside temperature of the smoker approximately 200 degrees. A feature we have is this thermometer here. You can set a max temp, and that's the alarm beeps if you go over that, so that way if you're not paying real close of attention and it gets too hot, you can come and get your fire under control, get back to where you're supposed to be. We have several different ways to manipulate the heat. The biggest thing I think is opening the door, kind of, how much oxygen you're letting into the fire. It has a little damper there, but I don't think it's quite enough to control the air the way that it should. So we kind of open the door and prop it open with a stick or whatever. Second way, we have a damper on our stove pipe, which will open and close the airflow through this pipe. And the third way is we have a damper on the backside of the smoker, which will let more heat. If we could open that up and let more heat out. And I suppose the fourth and most drastic one is just to open, if it's too hot, open the door, and that lets a whole bunch of heat out all at once, and then you can kind of get it back to homeostasis. Well, the alarm's going off, so it's telling us our temperature is too hot, so we're going to close the door here. And there's a lot of manipulation on this fire to get the right temperature. Try to get this temperature down. We'll close the damper. We can open the door to get it down, immediately down, lower the temperature. If it gets too hot, you're cooking it rather than smoking it. The whole idea behind smoking is slow cooking, right? So we don't want our temperature too hot. So, all right, we got it cool back down. We're 180. Now, the most intricate part of this whole process is sort of manipulating your fire to keep the constant temperature that you want. So that's why we sit here all day with a book or whatever and man the fire and keep the right temperature in there. But the effort is well worth the results in delicious smoked meats. So as long as you're going to spend the whole day smoking, you might as well have multiple cuts of meat. We prepped a little jerky we're putting on the bottom shelf here because it's a little drippy. And then we got our ham and a pork belly. So as long as you're going to do it, you might fill the whole thing. So one thing about smoking is you have to make a day of it, because by the time you get your fire going and several hours to smoke, and you got to be here to babysit the fire. So yeah, commit to a day. Get yourself a bottle of wine and a lawn chair and enjoy smoking some delicious meat. All right, finishing up our day of smoking here. We pulled the pork belly off after about 4 hours. Fried it in a piece. It was delicious. Jerky was a little less time than that, maybe about 3 hours. Our ham, we'll show you the ham here because it looks so nice. Hasn't quite reached the internal temperature we want, but we're going to take it out and throw it in the oven at 200 just to get the internal temperature we want, because the day's getting on and we need to do our chores, and we'll just let the fire burn out, and there's no additional cleanup really. That's why we like smoking. No dishes. Hope you like this video. Don't forget to press subscribe.